Hi everybody. Today I am working on the 8th day of Art Journal Habit 2018, and the prompt for today is building. Now I had done a page previously and I have that posted out on Instagram if you're interested in looking, but what I'm doing is working on that journal that we had started, at the beginning of the month. I started creating these background pages using a sample paint chip book. And I've sewn all of the signatures into a cover that's from the dollar store. And today I am working on a page along with Shall See. We are making pages for today's prompt. So building being the prompt, I am building a page. So I am just using some tissue paper to cover up that paint chip page. And you can see I have some backgrounds already done in my book, ready to go for pages that will be upcoming. And so I have my first layer down, and now I'm looking to see what the next layer is going to be. So I'm putting down some matte medium over the top of the tissue just to make sure I have this all sealed in well. The gloss paper underneath does not like to work real well with um, the paints and mediums, so I want to make sure I get that sealed up. And then I wanted to add some dark elements, so I have some black text weight paper that I'm applying to that tissue paper, and just a random pattern to get some darks and lights going on in the background. And these are just layers. Now I have text paper, and that is another layer. So we're up to our third layer now of things that are going on to our page, building that page as we go. And I'm talking about, spritzing the back of the paper. This is a Mary Beth Shaw technique where you spritz the back of the paper before you put it down on your medium, and it will help it adhere to your page more smoothly and make a better surface for working on. So thank you, Mary Beth, for that great tip. I have some chalky finish paint from Deco Art. I love these chalky finish paints. They're very opaque, and what I want to do is push that background back further, and so I'm going to use this kind of cream colored chalky finish paint from Deco Art and do just that. I'm going to use that and a wet baby wipe and apply that to my surface and just, make it part of the background more so. Then I have the chalky finish in another color called Treasure, and I'm going to use that with a stencil. I believe this stencil is from Stencil Girl Products, and I wanted to just add another layer or color of paint, and so I'm using my soft SOFFT sponge that I like so much when I'm stenciling, and using an up and down motion. I store these stencils on a cable ring. These can be purchased from Amazon in groups. They're relatively inexpensive, and you can use them for binding journals with, as Shell has done, and storing numerous small things that uh, you don't know how to keep track of otherwise. So I'm just using that up and down motion in stenciling. Rather than wasting the paint that I have out on my page, I'm just going to flip to some other pages that I have in my journal, and I'm going to use up that paint with some more stenciling. Me and my stencils. I love my stencils. Oops. Helps if you get it on the page. Yeah, okay. So I'm talking and not paying attention. So anyway, I'm getting that used, or using up that paint on my pages, and I have several going now, and they're very, very wet, so I'm going to have to dry this off. And then I want to use some of these Deco Art paint that are the translucent paints. This is quinacridone nickel azo gold. It's a lovely translucent paint that helps to tie things together, and you can still see all of those lovely layers that we have created in the background right through that paint. And I'm going to use a baby wipe and pick up the rest of that and just, apply it to my other page, so I don't waste. And then I also have this green gold, which is another one of my favorite colors. Sorry for the jiggling, but I wanted you to see that it just takes a little tiny drop of the paint to add to the page. But isn't that a lovely golden green color? One of my faves. So I'm adding that, and then I also add the Quin Orange, which is a little bit deeper tone than the Quin Gold. And then I go back to the journal that I had started creating, showing mind mapping and how you can map out the words for your day. I had started pulling some pieces to use for each one of the elements that we had chosen, and this napkin seemed to be appropriate with the color choices that I had on this page, and I'm just using a brush with water to outline the image and separate it from the other pieces. And then I'm going to pick up this stencil. This is a Stencil Girl grid stencil, and some more Deco Art paint in a tube. I think this is their premium. Anyway, I wanted to push the background back a little bit, and I'm going to use the Deco Art Deco page to apply the napkin, because this is the napkin Deco page that they have, and it works wonderfully. You don't have the tearing and stuff going on with your napkins that you do using some other products. And so I highly recommend this product. I use it all the time, and it's very fluid and it works for me. So I hope you give it a try. Use what you have, but I mean, if you're in need of something new, try this out, because I think you're going to like it. And then I don't like that corner that's up there on the napkin, so I'm going to push that back with a little bit more of that grid painting right across the corner there, and make it combine into the background a little bit better. Okay, so now that I've gotten that far, I will trim things out. I will get out a liner. It's a liner brush that I have filled with, excuse me, some fluid acrylic, and I'm once again using up the paint that I have out on my desktop, not wasting, but using what I have, and that little sponge brayer that you can get from the craft store. And now I'm ready to, add my, I think I'm going to put that definition on the page, so I'm going to add that definition, and I'm just going to use my Westcott ruler. It has a lovely deco edge on it, so I can tear a deco edge tear real easily. And I will use some Distress Oxide inks to tone down that white paper. I don't want to just slap that on there. I want it to kind of blend in with what I have. So I'm toning down that piece, and then I will put that down with a glue stick and coat it all with some matte medium to seal it in. And then I will, once I've dried all of this lining work that I've done with my fine liner, and yeah, it doesn't all get totally dry because I'm in a hurry and we're doing the page and I make some messes, but that's okay because you can always fix your messes. I will come back with some archival ink and do my edging to help get your eye focused where it needs to be on the main images of the page. So I hope you are enjoying our prompts and the challenge for this month. And I hope you join Shell and I in creating journal pages, even if you don't do them all, but remember to use the hashtag so that Shell and I can find you and see what you're doing too. And join us on Art Joy of Sharing, because there's a lot of people over there doing this and sharing and having fun. So now I'm talking about the different types of tools that I use for drawing. I use this Tim Holtz heat tool a lot when I'm working with paint so that I don't bubble them up and I keep it moving across the page. And then I also have my really hot heat tool that I use when I'm doing embossing powders or things of that nature. Um, and then I also have a hair dryer which has a cold shot on it. See, there's where I'm messing up. That's all right. I'll fix it later. And so if you have a hair dryer that has a cold shot, that sometimes is good for blowing air, small fans, that sort of thing work. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you again next time. And remember, you make a difference. So be kind. Bye for now.